back on top of the tumble. It's quite surreal to be here, and I think whilst we're here, we probably just take a quick minute and actually go through some of the stuff that we went through on the whole ride, because there's a whole bunch that just came flooding back to me whilst we were here. So
yeah, and relive a little bit of the memories of what has been a bit of a insane last only 5 weeks really, and it's really nice to hear it with all this chaos going around in the background.
There's a lot of people who have ridden up here today, which is great to see. Not sure how much prep they had, but I mean, if we run back to when this idea came together, it was a Wednesday afternoon.
We were literally planning our tour of Britain, just how we're going to show up from a stand perspective, and then we did a proper planning, and we went Wednesday, okay, 2-3 weeks into going to the tour of Britain, to being here, we had a meeting and went, we need to do something a little bit different. And that was literally the catalyst of going on a Wednesday afternoon meeting, a Thursday, is this actually possible, to a Friday, we can actually do this, and then into a car on Monday.
And then you start to overlay 5 people's diaries and also take into account the time to turn around what we were doing before the tour, which was already on a timeline. And it was like, okay, for me, I had that week, that Monday to Friday, I had to be back by Friday night was my cutoff.
Because you were going away on holiday.
I was away on holiday, and I was already pushing and missing out on Friday. And I think the same for like the media guys filming. They had pretty much the same. They had that week only. They needed to be back. They were filming again on Saturday morning. It was really tight.
It was tight. We were all, but I think everyone kind of understood the vision. Is like, you know, no one wants to see boring old ads. Let's try and do something a little bit different. Let's actually show up to the tumble, show up to every single stage, and be like, we've done that, and here's a bit of a video showcase of actually showing up, and then the benefits of actually doing a bit of a, you know, course recce on the way and seeing the stages and doing a bit of an experience. So there was a bit of method to the madness. It was just so much madness to be able to pull that off.
And I think at that time, we didn't know how it was going to pan out. We said, let's just go in for it and see what comes of it. We didn't know if we would finish. We didn't know if we'd be able to get through all of it. We didn't know what it was going to look like when we were on the stages, or what it's going to look like when we were on the roads, how we're going to present this, how we're going to get, like, we didn't even know how we're going to film it properly.
No.
And I think everyone then just went away and was like, right, you look after that, you look after that, you look after that. We came back together on that Monday morning and we're like, did you do this? Yes. Okay, let's go.
We're ready. And then 5 o'clock, first day we meet. I came to London on Sunday because we're leaving obviously for the store on Monday. To be fair, all of us didn't actually quite know each other that well either. So we're all kind of feeling our way to try and get to know each other whilst going on what was a crazy adventure. We all meet, and I think that's when the start of the video really kicks in. Is like, that's when I was like, hey, Christo, and the little thing comes through, and oh, here's Luke, and we're like, hey, how are you feeling? And that was the start of what has been then actually quite a beautiful week. It was actually really nice. Like,
it was. I think for me, like stage 1, it felt really chaotic because those first few days, like leading up into it, were like madness. Then we got there and I was like, okay, all I need to do is actually show up and ride a bike. I've got to talk through a lot with Jamie about where we're going and how the course looks. That was like my whole side of things. And then I was like, okay, cool, I've just got to get on my bike and ride. And when we started to get going, I was like, oh, wait, no, no, there's still so much more to do.
Yeah, we were a little bit awkward, like looking back at the video, because we did a viewing, but looking back at the video, you can see in the first 2 stages, which was the first day, they were kind of trying to find a little bit of a rhythm. Like, I didn't really know you as well, and it's not just that, but it was just kind of like, what do we talk about? Like, we still have to ride, but oh, how does the film crew gonna film all this? Like, how do we pull together a bit of a story? Like, it was like fumbling our way into trying to create something beautiful.
Yeah.
But the day was not that bad, really. Like, what about you? What do you think?
I think, like you say, it was all a lot of figurings and trying to work out the little pieces, and you know, just going, cool, this is what we're going to do, and being like, no, this is not really working, do this instead. And we went through all of those bits and, you know, figuring it out. And to be fair, it came together quite quickly, I think.
It did.
And we learned very quickly of what was working. And it was also quite difficult. I mean, we were riding a lot that day. It was a long day.
Big.
And learning to ride together, especially you know, you're riding 2 people by yourself for that amount of distance. You've got to work together. You've got to learn each other. Okay, how are you feeling? What are you doing?
Yeah.
Okay, are you easing up because you're trying to get water? You're trying to get food, or is something happening? You're not feeling well. You know, you're trying to learn all those things. How do you move on the road? That's another thing for me, is like learning another cyclist that you're riding with. How do you move on the road? Because you're trying to stay so hard and so tight to each other. And the roads that we're going down, I think this is the other thing that we got caught a little bit, was like a lot of them were like these big busy roads.
Yes, they were.
So
we had to be tight, literally top and tail the whole time.
Exactly.
We couldn't really take up a lot of space.
And I mean, it's obviously planned for a bunch of 100+ riders, a motorcade, closed roads. We didn't have that luxury.
No, we didn't. But I think we kind of got into a bit of a rhythm, and I feel like we're actually, you know, fitness aside, like I think our pacing kind of came together quite nicely.
Correct.
Like really, really quickly. It didn't feel like there was like a clear difference in the beginning stages. It was like, okay, actually no, I think we can really do this. And I think that really helped the first stage, because actually halfway through the day I started getting like a headache, like I was tired, like I really wasn't in the mood to kind of keep going. But you were so kind of freshish, and it was like, I think you really dragged me along the first stage. I just remember we were at the castle and we're trying to do some filming, and I'm sitting there with this banging headache going like, this day just needs to end. Like it just needs to end. But we still had like 120 Ks left at that point. Like it was just crazy. And we got caught out on that day because of trying to bite off more than we could chew. Drive from Kingston to, where was the start again? Woodbridge, to then ride 2 stages and finish before sundown. Like that's a bit ambitious, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I mean, we got caught out there at the end of stage 2 there. But we decided we just had no choice. We needed to crack on, and we even had the debates in the van of, okay, do we just wrap for the night, get to the hotel, come back and finish the rest of the stage, and then move on to the next stage in the same day and try catch? And we're like, we're just going to be chasing ourselves the whole week. We've got to push at some point, like, let's just do it now. And so stage 2, really, to be honest, for me, it was a push the whole way. It was just like, let's just get this done, let's get through, let's really push. And those first 2 stages, in terms of like what comes across in the movie, there's a lot of stuff that didn't make it into the cut, purely because there was so much else that happened the rest of the week. But also because in terms of what it was, there was a lot of flat riding. It was fast. We were just like going flat out, and we had wind just pushing us, which really helped. And I think without that wind, that would have been a very different day.
That would have been very difficult.
And stage 3, Milton Keynes.
Yes.
Let's have a chat about that, because I feel like there was so much that happened that day that did not make it in.
Oh my God.
Like, okay, let's start with, we're heading out of Milton Keynes, and we're starting to get going on the day. We had a few conversations, some quite deep conversations between the 2 of us, and there was something else that was happening that day.
We talked about our history of riding. We talked about our love for cycling, which didn't make it, but then you were like, let's spice this up a little bit. Let's do, because today's a sprinter stage, let's do a sprint game. I just ride by. I didn't know there was a sprint game, and you gave me this introduction to a sprint game. I'm just going to get the punchline before you explain what we did. But the sprint game, I think in the video I say, I have nothing left. I am cooked. Honestly, I'm cooked. My nose is bleeding, and I can barely get 250 watts. It wasn't because of the stage. Yes, the wind played a part. Yes, all that. It was because of this bloody sprint game. What did we do in the sprint game?
So we played, it's a little game called 2030s. We'll make a very short recap, but essentially, at speed limit signs for 20 and 30 mile an hour, it's a sprint line for each single one. So we had over 25 sprint points through that day that we contested 80% of them between the 2 of us. And like you said, at the end, it's in the movie, you say, oh, I'm cooked, I've got nothing left. It was
because of that sprint game.
And it's coming into Amtel as well. So it's like the last, there was like about 3 in a 500 meter section, and I was like, just rolled through
just
them,
rolling.
and you were like, I've got nothing, I'm not even going to try.
I'm just sitting on the bike. I'm like, nah. I'm like getting a nosebleed. I'm like, I can't do. Not because the stage was difficult, don't get me wrong, but I was just like, this game just destroyed us.
And we had like spoken like, oh, we'll have a sprint across the line because it's a sprint stage and we'll end our sprint game. And I looked back for you and you weren't even there. Like,
I'm just sitting rolling up this hill and then all the way down to the finish.
I took a little victory.
Yeah, you did.
Hand up that one.
You took the victory. I just took I finished it kind of card.
But through the day, before Amtel, you were leading the game, so I will give you fair credit on that.
It was definitely, we learned actually a bit about each other as riders there. I think the boys even said in the car, they were like, oh, you know, I'm just a coaster, all that sort of stuff. But I think at that point we learned what kind of rider we are. You're just the climber and the grinder, and you'll get it done, and you'll get it done at good speed. I'm like these little short bursts of energy of just like, whoa, get it done, and then that's it. But that's kind of where we really learned each other a bit of riding, you know.
Correct. I mean, it was a great day. To me, like, it was a really beautiful stage. The first stage is like no discredit, they were fun, but it was like mentally such a grind. Stage 3 was like a beautiful stage. We had the day to really enjoy it and just get into it, which was great. And then big punch up to Coventry that night afterwards in the car. Those drives sapped us, man.
It's actually, we talk about the riding, but the driving, it's like 2 hours here, 2 hours here, 2 hours here. Like it all played a big role. But yeah, you're right. We punch up to Coventry
and start just north of Coventry in that beautiful little town.
Ah, yes, Atherstone, yeah. And a nice pub. We had a bit of an intro there. Yeah, in front of the pub. So that was nice. And then a little crossing that you go kind of under. I was trying to think back how I look at that point, because that's when changing. But I was like, whoa, post the sprint stage that we just had, the sprinting game, I was feeling a little bit like, wait a second. We've got the tumble yet to come. We've got Cardiff yet to come. And I'm feeling a little bit spicy at that point.
Yeah, and I think that morning rolling out is a bit bumpy in the beginning, and then it's like flat for so long in the middle before the hills at the end. And we both chatted about it, and we were like, listen, today we just need to stay tight together again, work together, take it easy, and save the legs, because we still got a lot of riding to do. I mean, even though it was the longest day, and in theory a day that we should have essentially been punished, we took it almost as a bit of recovery, because also it was the first day that we didn't have wind either. So we were like, right, let's take our chance here. Let's actually just save ourselves a bit. But then is the first day of real climbing too, so we decided there was KM points.
Oh, you decided at that first climb that there was. You're like, that didn't make anything in the video there at all. But you're like, at the KM we were riding, and then I remember you just going, all right, time to go, and you dropped it. You just went. I remember seeing you accelerate up this hill.
Yeah, before we even got there, it was like, yeah, we're not going to contest it, and we rolled onto it. I was like,
yeah, you're going to contest.
We're going to go.
Yeah, first little bit of climbing. That stage was just long. It was just, we didn't capture as much, but it's just like this the whole time. But the finish at Burden Dasset, that was brutal. 3 times. I mean, that's become such a joke now, because it doesn't make the cut. But through that whole day, I think any time a camera got pointed in my face, I was like, 3 times. 3 times up the finish line. It wasn't a hard climb, but it was a very punchy climb. But it was really nice being there yesterday and just actually seeing the fans and seeing that. It was actually a really good vibe. That was also where I think the stage or the tour so far has really come to life. Similar to what we have today, but it really, really has come to life then.
Correct. And then stage 5, we did a big drive over also to Wales that day. Wow. But it felt good riding into Cardiff. Mentally, it really felt good riding into Cardiff that night. And then
because we're going to be in a bed for 2 nights as well.
Correct. That was another thing. Same bed for 2 nights. What a treat. What a treat.
We're rolling into Cardiff.
And then that morning started, and I think, I mean, started in all really good moods. I was happy because I was like, right, we've got a proper climbing stage. I love climbing, so I was like really getting into it.
But you got
stopped for breakfast, and I was feeling fine. We stopped for breakfast, and out of nowhere, it just washed over me. And by the time we got to the parking lot there to pull up, we started getting ready. I was like, I don't know what happened, but I felt horrible that day.
The video kind of captures that really well. Like that wasn't even being put on. I'm making the racing rooster joke. I disappeared for breakfast this morning.
And you're starting up there.
I disappeared for breakfast this morning. You want to know why?
So where are you?
No.
Why? I want to know.
You'll be looking at the cool park run to start with.
Tell me.
You enjoying the road?
I'm calling myself the racing rooster, Luke.
I'm not feeling great, I'm not gonna lie. You're not feeling great?
Well, don't worry, the racing rooster is here today.
Stomach.
I'm gonna throw up, yeah.
You feel like you're gonna throw up?
Yeah.
Oh,
Fuck.
Racing rooster is here though.
What point is kilometer 0?
Because I'm not reading the room, but you were not in a good place then. You were really
I think also
not.
when we did the viewing back, the racing rooster was the first time I knew about the racing rooster was when we watched the video. I didn't even register that was happening.
You're like, whoa, whoa,
I
whoa.
was tunnel vision.
You're
so
like, I
hard.
just got to do this. Yeah.
Correct. And then tumble.
Wow.
I mean,
the shots were incredible. The feeling was sensational. Like it was hard work. Twice, awfully hard work. But it was
Correct.
honestly like even the tired bones, every part of our body was just beautiful and amazing.
correct. And I think before we even got to the tumble, I mean, we've spoken about the tumble, we go into depth on the tumble in the video, but there were so many other really good climbs early on the stage that, to be fair, like we hit those climbs and I was just like, I can't stop today. Like this is so nice. This is so good. And that really kept me going too. Those early climbs were amazing to go on, really steady and, you know, gentle, but just really cracking on. And that was great. And then, we finished up here. I was dead.
Yeah, I was cooked. I mean, we did it twice. We set ourselves a little challenge to beat our first time. I think I ended up doing it in like 24 minutes or whatever it was. I don't know what the pros are doing it today, but they probably, you know, sub 18 minutes easily.
Sub 15.
Sub 15 minutes, so shows you a bit of a difference. But we let it all out. We just let it rip, and the video just captures it so beautifully.
Correct.
I think.
And then roll forward the last day.
Yeah, the last day.
Sunday. How did you actually feel that Sunday? Because that day, for me, like I'd been with you the whole week, right? And I could see your mood had just shifted on Sunday. And I was riding with you, and I was like, I try to engage with you. I try to like help and whatever. And it felt like whatever it was, it just wasn't getting anything back. And I finally got to a point where I was like, okay, he's in a space.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave him. And like, where were you that day?
I definitely knew I was going to finish, but I think I just like all our social batteries were drained. My bowels were just not in a good spot because of all the gels. Like I was just done. And I'm like riding the stage, and like it was heavy roads as well, like really busy. Like it was pretty, but it was just too busy, and we had to like. I just want to honestly get home. I haven't seen my family in a week. Like it's just all these floods of emotions, and I was like, we just need to get it done. Like I was really just get it done. And then when we got to Kafili, or how was it? Kafili instead of Ryan. Then when we had a bit of a sit down, you had a Coke, I had a sip of a Coca-Cola, which is rare in its own right. But that moment from there on forwards was, wow.
Bliss.
Wow.
And it was amazing how we went from riding, so the other thing is, we talk a lot about the distances we had on the days. We were riding the neutralized starts as part of our days.
Yeah.
So like when the race has been 120, we still rode 138 or whatever it is, or 135K. And on that day, it was like we had 134, 135, I think. I can't remember. But riding the whole day was just like really low mood, both of us.
Yeah.
And we got to Kafili, and it was like, right, boys, we've got 18K or something. It was 12K from the top of Kafili Mountain or something like that. And
One more climb left.
That last climb sucked, but knowing that once that was done, it was cool.
It's just downhill all the way to Cardiff.
And as soon as we like got down the hill, just outside of Kafili, like coming down the hill, was a sign for Cardiff. And it was
honestly like, didn't even need to put anything on. It was just truly like just this flux of endorphins. It was like, oh my God, we have actually done this.
And an absolute boost of watts.
Yeah. Oh my
I don't know. Well, we went from riding like 25K an hour, 30K an hour on the flats to riding 45K an hour on the flats.
Overtaking cars.
Straight away.
Double lanes. We're like, we've done this. This is it.
It was great. And that was, the whole day though, was sort of knowing that end line was so close was so inspiring, and just cathartic in a way, almost, even from the whole week of trying to bring it together.
it's just, we all had our emotions, we all had our experiences, you know, from coast to coast, from castle to castle, you know, we did it. We did it, and that feeling cannot be taken away, irrespective of how our video does or whatever else. That like whole experience was just, this is great.
Yeah.
It's just great.
It was.
And yeah, you know, the week on from that, you know, we managed to see the teaser video. We had a bit of a look back. We get to relive a little bit, you know, now actually seeing our faces on the tour of Britain, you know, well, it's all worth it. I mean, we show up so differently here than everyone else. We had such a great experience. Everyone's talking about it. It's been nice. It's been really good.
Great.
Yeah.
I mean, regardless of all of that, to be fair, from my side at least, just doing it
Yeah.
was amazing from a personal perspective. The chance to be able to even do that is amazing for myself, and yeah, it's quite cool to say that we did it.
Agree.
It's quite cool to say we did it, and it does get a really good engagement and show up in a different way,
Yeah.
which is amazing. And yeah,
Until next time, we're doing something else. Who knows what's next?